One of the hardest parts that I found about cancer wasn't the treatment and it wasn't the surgeries. It was the overwhelming feeling that I had to figure everything out. One day I was living my life. The next I was expected to understand pathology reports, treatment options, nutrition, supplements, side effects, and a language that I had never expected to ever hear. Every decision felt like it might determine whether I would live or die. That was a lot of pressure that I carried, always wondering if I was making the right choices and decisions. So I did what so many people do, things that you have probably done. I started reading articles and listening to everyone's advice. And instead of feeling more confident, I felt more afraid. I thought what I needed was more information, but what I actually needed was clarity. If you felt overwhelmed by cancer, I want you to know something before we go any further. This is normal. Your brain is responding exactly the way a human brain responds when life suddenly becomes uncertain. And today I want to show you why cancer feels so overwhelming and how to take back control. And I'm going to do this by sharing with you what makes cancer so overwhelming, why it isn't your fault that you feel this way, and most importantly, a simple path that can help you feel more confident, calmer, and more in control again. When people are diagnosed with cancer, they suddenly believe that they're supposed to handle all of this. They tell themselves things like, I should be stronger. I should know what to do. I should be able to make those decisions. But here's what I've learned from my own experience and from coaching dozens of cancer survivors. Cancer doesn't just challenge your body, it overwhelms your brain. Suddenly, your mind is trying to process more information than it was ever designed to carry. And this is where life starts to get overwhelming. And here's the 5 reasons why that happens. The first is information overload. There has never been more information about cancer available to you than there is right now. And that's both wonderful and overwhelming. The internet will give you thousands of answers. Social media will give you thousands more. Friends are going to send you articles, and your family members start recommending treatments. Every expert seems to have a different opinion, which creates overwhelm and makes you question if you're doing cancer right. So instead of feeling informed, you end up feeling confused. And every day ends up feeling like another decision. Treatment, nutrition, exercise, supplements, work, relationships, money, second opinions, boundaries. And by the end of the day, your brain is exhausted, not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're carrying so much. And this is what we call decision fatigue. Another factor is that fear actually changes your brain. It changes how your brain responds to things. When we're afraid, our brains search for certainty. But the thing is, and I'm sure you know this, cancer doesn't offer certainty. It offers uncertainty. And our body and our brain want stability, and cancer doesn't offer stability either. So your mind keeps looking for answers that don't exist yet. And that's exhausting physically and emotionally. Another unexpected aspect of cancer is that everyone expects you to become an expert overnight. Like having cancer suddenly makes you the expert in cancer. Maybe you've experienced this. I remember sitting in appointments, hearing words that I've never heard before, medical terms, treatment plans, statistics. And I kept thinking, how am I supposed to understand all of this? Nobody hands you a manual to become a cancer expert overnight. You have to figure a lot out on your own, and that takes a toll on your mental health. If you're nodding along with what I am saying and are feeling cancer-related anxiety, I've created a free guide for you for managing anxiety when you have cancer. It's available to you in the description below. Now let's keep going, because what I want to share with you is the 5th part of cancer that makes cancer feel so overwhelming and what actually helped me to move out of overwhelm. What you may be experiencing is trying to solve tomorrow, today. And this was the biggest lesson for me. I wasn't just worrying about today's appointment. I was worrying about upcoming scans. I was worrying about upcoming treatments. I was worrying about what was going to happen 3 months, 6 months, 12 months from now. I was worrying about what 5 years from now would look like, and at the same time, wondering if I was even going to live. My brain was trying to solve problems that hadn't happened yet, and that was creating more weight on my brain and in my heart. But then, after a while, things started to change. My turning point didn't happen because I suddenly found the perfect article or the perfect diet or the perfect supplement. It happened when I stopped believing that I had to carry everything at once. And I realized something that changed the way I lived with cancer. I wasn't overwhelmed because I didn't know enough. I was overwhelmed because I was carrying too much. And that realization changed everything about how I lived every day, every week, every month, and every year going forward. I believe that everybody needs a simple path to keep moving forward. So I want to leave you with 3 simple steps that have helped me and so many people that I have coached. Step 1 is to focus on today's decision. Instead of asking, how do I get through cancer? Ask, what matters most today? One decision, one appointment, one conversation, one next step. Step 2 is to reduce the noise. You don't need 20 opinions. You just need a few trusted sources. Let them guide you. Peace often comes from filtering information, not collecting more of it. And the third thing is to follow a path. This was the piece I was missing and didn't have and couldn't find. I didn't need another list of things to do. I needed a roadmap, someone to help me understand what mattered now, what could wait, and how to keep moving forward without feeling like I had to figure out everything alone. If cancer has left you feeling overwhelmed, I hope you leave this video knowing these things. You don't have to have all of the answers today. You don't have to make every decision perfectly. You don't have to become an expert overnight. You only have to take the next right step. That's how overwhelm becomes clarity. And that's how fear becomes confidence. And that's how surviving slowly becomes thriving. If you're looking for guidance, I would love to see you in my free mini course, Get Thriving. It's a place where you'll find practical tools, trusted support, and a community of people who understand what you are experiencing. You can find the link in the description below. And part of living with cancer is connecting with other people, so I would love for you to leave me a comment below. Tell me what part of living with cancer is feeling most overwhelming for you right now. I read every comment and I will respond. Thank you for spending this time with me. Watch for next week's video where I share the truth about cancer and all the information that is out there. And remember, you don't need to figure out everything today. You just need the courage to take the next step.